Karoo. Hey, Arnie. How are you, Arnie? You sure you don't mind me reading it today? Maybe we can do it every other day. You read it, but keep uploading it. That's probably something new you can add. Keep on your channel. Hit that like button. I'm exhausted. Yeah, I'm not going to the gym today. There's no way I can actually. Hey, Dizzy Izzy. Hi, Kay. How are you? I didn't do it. What happened, Kay? Hey, Rebel Rocker. How are you? It's good to see you. What's wrong, Kay? Okay. Okay, let's. Oh my god. Wake up again. I could have slept at least 5 more hours, and I'm not over exaggerating. I still feel crappy. So there's no way I'm going to the gym. There's no way I can do anything. But the tax part of my YouTube money, it went through. So if you don't, not sure if you don't have an EIN number, employment identification number, you use your social security number. Well, thank you so much, Rebel Rocker. I appreciate you stopping by. And let's say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our trespasses. Forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I said most of that without looking. Headache. Why? I had that Metamucil. I was supposed to have that every day. I even told my dad to straight out. I just forgot about it. But at least my money, it's one step closer coming to me. I don't know what the next step I have to take after this. I really don't know. I don't know what. You did not do nothing wrong. Okay, guys. I know Arnie uploaded his part of the devotions, but I told him I would like to read it today. And I don't know if anybody. Truffle Shuffle Brett. How in the world are you? I hope I'm not getting sick. I just hope this is just fatigue. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Brett. I hope you got it fixed too. My computer just won't go. It won't connect to the internet. So I'm like, so it sits there collecting dust. All right, let's get into this. But I know I mentioned Juliana Carver a few times in my videos. And today marks the second anniversary of her death. No, well, third anniversary of her death. She was a girl that was adopted as a toddler from Belarus, Minsk, or Minsk, Belarus. I don't know which one it was. I get it confused all the time. And right before her 5th birthday, they found out she had cancer, and she got it 7 more times after that, and the 8th time killed her. So I think it's the other pain medication they gave her. I think that really killed her. But anyway, that's not my opinion. All right, today's Jesus calling. Both me and Arnie do this. So today it's my turn. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta do my writing here. I'm sorry, guys. I was not feeling good yesterday. I'm still not feeling good, but I wanted to do at least one live today. Yes, this probably might be the only live, but let's see how I feel tomorrow. Yeah, just let me write this, guys, if you don't mind. Um, 24th. Oh my God. Gotta see my comments. Oh. Why? What's up with your aunt? Yeah, that's why I didn't stream at all yesterday. Oh, you could have said that here. That's sad. That's sad. I'll do anything. Izzy, you could have said that here. I'll be ready in just one moment, guys. I'm so sorry. Because that might just save her life, right, Isabella? Yeah, you could say that here. Just say that, because I would do the same thing. If they found it in one, I says, remove both my breasts. I'm done with that. That's what I would say. I says, remove it. Okay, let's get reading. Jesus Calling, October 24th. Lie down in green pastures of peace. Learn to unwind whenever possible. Resting in the presence of your shepherd, this electronic age keeps my children wired much of the time, too tense to find me in the midst of their moments. I build into your very being the need for rest. How twisted the world has become when people feel guilty about meeting this basic need. How much time and energy they waste by being always on the go, rather than taking time to seek my direction for their lives. I have called you to watch with me down path of peace. I want you to blaze a trail for others who desire to live in my peaceful presence. I have chosen you less for your strength than for your weaknesses, which amplify your need for me. Depends on me more and more, and I will shower peace on all your paths. Okay, you know that's Isabella, right? Okay, let's go to Psalms. I am so tired right now. I got enough sleep. I'm just not. I told my dad. Hi, Adelaide. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to my devotions. Psalms 23, verses 1 and 3. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. Next is Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. On the seventh day, God had finished his work of creation, so he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because it was the day when he rested from all his work of creation. Next is Luke chapter 1, verse 79. To give light to those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, and to guide us to the path of peace. Now we'll go to 1 Samuel chapter 3.
Chapter 3. The Lord speaks to Samuel. Meanwhile, the boy Samuel served the Lord by assisting Eli. Now in those days, messages from the Lord were very rare, and visions were quite uncommon. One night, Eli, who was almost blind by now, had gone to bed. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was sleeping in the tabernacle near the ark of God. Suddenly the Lord called out, "Samuel." "Yes," Samuel replied. "What is it?" He got up and ran to Eli. "Here I am. Did you call me?"
My whole body feels fatigue. That's what I'm feeling right now, just fatigue. And I don't know what it is. It's just fatigue. That's it. That's all I feel.
"I didn't call you," Eli replied. "Go back to bed." So he did. Then the Lord called out again, "Samuel." Again, Samuel got up and went to Eli. "Here I am. Did you call me?" "I didn't call you, my son," Eli said. "Go back to bed." Samuel did not yet know the Lord because he had never had a message from the Lord before. So the Lord called a third time, and once more Samuel got up and went to Eli. "Here I am. Did you call me?" Then Eli realized it was the Lord who was calling the boy. So he said to Samuel, "Go and lie down again. And if someone calls again, say, 'Speak, Lord, your servant is listening.'" So Samuel went back to bed. And the Lord came and called as before, "Samuel, Samuel." And Samuel replied, "Speak, your servant is listening." Then the Lord said to Samuel, "I am about to do a shocking thing in Israel. I am going to carry out all my threats against Eli and his family from beginning to end. I have warned him that judgment is coming upon his family forever, because his sons are blaspheming God and he hasn't disciplined them. So I have vowed that the sins of Eli and his sons will never be forgiven by sacrifices or offerings." Samuel speaks for the Lord. Samuel stayed in bed until morning, then got up and opened the doors of the tabernacle as usual. He was afraid to tell Eli what the Lord had said to him. But Eli called out to him, "Samuel, my son." "Here I am," Samuel replied. "What did the Lord say to you? Tell me everything, and may God strike you and even kill you if you hide anything from me." So Samuel told Eli everything. He didn't hold anything back. "It is the Lord's will," Eli replied. "Let him do what he thinks best." As Samuel grew up, the Lord was with him, and everything Samuel said proved to be reliable. And all Israel, from Dan in the north to Beersheba in the south, knew that Samuel was confirmed as a prophet of the Lord. The Lord continued to appear at Shiloh and gave messages to Samuel there at the tabernacle. And Samuel's words went out to all the people of Israel. Chapter 4. The Philistines capture the ark. At that time Israel was at war with the Philistines. The Israelite army was camped near Ebenezer, and the Philistines were at Aphek. The Philistines attacked and defeated the army of Israel, killing 4,000 men. After the battle was over, the troops retreated to their camp, and the elders of Israel asked, "Why did the Lord allow us to be defeated by the Philistines?" Then they said, "Let's bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord from Shiloh. If we carry it into battle with us, it will save us from our enemies." So they sent men to Shiloh to bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord of Heaven's armies, who is enthroned between the cherubim. Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, were also there with the ark of the covenant of God. When all the Israelites saw the ark of the covenant of the Lord coming into the camp, their shout of joy was so loud it made the ground shake. "What's going on?" the Philistines asked. "What's all the shouting about in the Hebrew camp?" When they were told, Chapter 4. The Philistines capture the ark. At that time Israel was at war with the Philistines. The Israelite army was camped near Ebenezer, and the Philistines were at Aphek. Chapter 4. The Philistines capture the ark.
Sorry, but there's just one part of this is not highlighted. Here we go. It won't be highlighted. It won't highlight. Why won't it highlight? That is so weird why I can't highlight that. Oh well.
At that time Israel was at war with the Philistines. The Israelite army was camped near Ebenezer, and the Philistines were at Aphek. The Philistines attacked and defeated the army of Israel, killing 4,000 men. After the battle was over, the troops retreated to their camp, and the elders of Israel asked, "Why did the Lord allow us to be defeated by the Philistines?" Then they said, "Let's bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord from Shiloh. If we carry it into battle with us, it will save us from our enemies." So they sent men to Shiloh to bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord of Heaven's armies, who is enthroned between the cherubim. Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, were also there with the ark of the covenant of God. When all the Israelites saw the ark of the covenant of the Lord coming...
Who is sick today besides me?
into the camp, their shout of joy was so loud it made the ground shake. "What's going on?" the Philistines asked. "What's all the shouting about in the Hebrew camp?" When they were told it was because the ark of the Lord had arrived, they panicked. "The gods have come into their camp," they cried. This is a disaster. We have never had to face anything like this before. Help! Who can save us from these mighty gods of Israel? They are the same gods who destroyed the Egyptians with plagues when Israel was in the wilderness. Fight as never before, Philistines. If you don't, we will become the Hebrews' slaves, just
that will
as
do
they
it.
have been ours. Stand up like men and fight. So the Philistines fought desperately, and Israel was defeated again. The slaughter was great. 30,000 Israelite soldiers died that day. The survivors turned and fled to their tents. The Ark of God was captured, and Hophni and Phinehas, the two sons of Eli, were killed. The death of Eli. A man from the tribe of Benjamin ran from the battlefield and arrived at Shiloh later that same day. He had torn his clothes and put dust on his head to show his grief. Eli was waiting beside the road to hear the news of the battle, for his heart trembled for the safety of the Ark of God. When the messenger arrived and told what had happened, an outcry resounded throughout the town. What is all the noise about? Eli asked. The messenger rushed over to Eli, who was 98 years old and blind. He said to Eli, I have just come from the battlefield. I was there this very day. What happened to my son? Eli demanded. Israel has been defeated by the Philistines, the messenger replied. The people have been slaughtered, and your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were also killed, and the Ark of God has been captured. When the messenger mentioned what had happened to the Ark of God, Eli fell backward from his seat beside the gate. He broke his neck and died, for he was old and overweight. He had been Israel's judge for 40 years. Eli's daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant and near her time of delivery. When she heard that the Ark of God had been captured and that her father-in-law and husband were dead, she went into labor and gave birth. She died in childbirth, but before she passed away, the midwives tried to encourage her. Don't be afraid, they said. You have a baby boy. But she did not answer or pay attention to them. She named the child Ichabod, which means, where is the glory? For she said, Israel's glory is gone. She named him this because the Ark of God had been captured, and because her father-in-law and husband were dead. Then she said, the glory has departed from Israel, for the Ark of God has been captured. Chapter 5. The Ark in Philistia. After the Philistines captured the Ark of God, they took it from the battleground at Ebenezer to the town of Ashdod. They carried the Ark of God into the temple of Dagon and placed it beside an idol of Dagon. But when the citizens of Ashdod...
Well, there, James. Congratulations. Hi, Scottish girl. How are you? Just want to let you know, once again, this is Devotions. I can't type in everything that it's reading, but you can talk to everybody in the chat.
Ashdod went to see it the next morning. Dagon had fallen with his face to the ground in front of the Ark of the Lord.
Awesome.
So they took Dagon and put him in his place again. But the next morning, the same thing happened. Dagon had fallen face down before the Ark of the Lord again. This time, his head and hands had broken off and were lying in the doorway. Only the trunk of his body was left intact. That is why, to this day, neither the priests of Dagon nor anyone who enters the temple of Dagon in Ashdod will step on its threshold. Then the Lord's heavy hand struck the people of Ashdod and the nearby villages with a plague of tumors. When the people realized what was happening, they cried out, we can't keep the Ark of the God of Israel here any longer. He is against us. We will all be destroyed along with Dagon, our God. So they called together the rulers of the Philistine towns and asked, what should we do with the Ark of the God of Israel? The rulers discussed it and replied, move it to the town of Gath. So they moved the Ark of the God of Israel to Gath. But when the Ark arrived at Gath, the Lord's heavy hand fell on its men, young and old. He struck them with a plague of tumors, and there was a great panic. So they sent the Ark of God to the town of Ekron. But when the people of Ekron saw it coming, they cried out, they are bringing the Ark of the God of Israel here to kill us too. The people summoned the Philistine rulers again and begged them, please send the Ark of the God of Israel back to its own country, or it will kill us all. For the deadly plague from God had already begun, and great fear was sweeping across the town. Those who didn't die were afflicted with tumors, and the cry from the town rose to heaven. Chapter 6. The The Philistines returned the ark. The ark of the Lord remained in Philistine territory 7 months in all. Then the Philistines called in their priests and diviners and asked them, "What should we do about the ark of the Lord? Tell us how to return it to its own country." "Send the ark of the God of Israel back with a gift," they were told. "Send a guilt offering so the plague will stop. Then, if you are healed, you will know it was his hand that caused the plague." "What sort of guilt offering should we send?" they asked. And they were told, "Since the plague has struck both you and your 5 rulers, make 5 gold tumors and 5 gold rats, just like those that have ravaged your land. Make these things to show honor to the God of Israel. Perhaps then he will stop afflicting you, your gods, and your land. Don't be stubborn and rebellious as Pharaoh and the Egyptians were. By the time God was finished with them, they were eager to let Israel go. Now build a new cart and find 2 cows that have just given birth to calves. Make sure the cows have never been yoked to a cart. Hitch the cows to the cart, but shut their calves away from them in a pen. Put the ark of the Lord on the cart, and beside it place a chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors you are sending as a guilt offering. Then let the cows go wherever they want. If they cross the border of our land and go to Beth Shemesh, we will know it was the Lord who brought this great disaster upon us. If they don't, we will know it was not his hand that caused the plague. It came simply by chance." So these instructions were carried out. 2 cows were hitched to the cart, and their newborn calves were shut up in a pen. Then the ark of the Lord and the chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors were placed on the cart. And sure enough, without veering off in other directions, the cows went straight along the road toward Beth Shemesh, lowing as they went. The Philistine rulers followed them as far as the border of Beth Shemesh. The people of Beth Shemesh were harvesting wheat in the valley, and when they saw the ark, they were overjoyed. The cart came into the field of a man named Joshua, and stopped beside a large rock. So the people broke up the wood of the cart for a fire and killed the cows and sacrificed them to the Lord as a burnt offering. Several men of the tribe of Levi lifted the ark of the Lord and the chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors from the cart and placed them on the large rock. Many sacrifices and burnt offerings were offered to the Lord that day by the people of Beth Shemesh. The 5 Philistine rulers watched all this and then returned to Ekron that same day. The 5 gold tumors sent by the Philistines as a guilt offering to the Lord were gifts from the rulers of Ashdod, Gaza, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. The 5 gold rats represented the 5 Philistine towns and their surrounding villages, which were controlled by the 5 rulers. The large rock at Beth Shemesh, where they set the ark of the Lord, still stands in the field of Joshua as a witness to what happened there. The ark moved to Kiriath Jearim. But the Lord killed 70 men from Beth Shemesh because they looked into the ark of the Lord, and the people mourned greatly because of what the Lord had done. "Who is able to stand in the presence of the Lord, this holy God?" they cried out. "Where can we send the ark from here?" So they sent messengers to the people at Kiriath Jearim and told them, "The Philistines have returned the ark of the Lord. Come here and get it." Chapter 7. So the men of Kiriath Jearim came to get the ark of the Lord. They took it to the hillside home of Abinadab and ordained Eleazar his son to be in charge of it. The ark remained in Kiriath Jearim for a long time, 20 years in all. During that time all Israel mourned because it seemed the Lord had abandoned them. Samuel leads Israel to victory. Then Samuel said to all the people of Israel, "If you are really serious about wanting to return to the Lord, get rid of your foreign gods and your images of Ashtoreth. Determined to obey only the Lord. Then he will rescue you from the Philistines." So the Israelites got rid of their images of Baal and Ashtoreth and worshipped only the Lord. Then Samuel told them, "Gather all of Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray to the Lord for you." So they gathered at Mizpah, and in a great ceremony drew water from a well and poured it out before the Lord. They also went without food all day and confessed that they had sinned against the Lord. It was at Mizpah that Samuel became Israel's judge. When the Philistine rulers heard that Israel had gathered at Mizpah, they mobilized their army and advanced. The Israelites were badly frightened when they learned that the Philistines were approaching. "Don't stop pleading with the Lord our God to save us from the Philistines," they begged Samuel. So Samuel took a young lamb and offered it to the Lord as a whole burnt offering. He pleaded with the Lord to help Israel, and the Lord answered him. Just as Samuel was sacrificing the burnt offering, the Philistines arrived to attack Israel. But the Lord spoke with a mighty voice of thunder from heaven that day, and the Philistines were thrown into such confusion that the Israelites defeated them. The men of Israel chased them from Mizpah to a place below Beth-kar, slaughtering them all along the way. Samuel then took a large stone and placed it between the towns of Mizpah and Jeshanah. He named it Ebenezer, which means the stone of help, for he said, up to this point, the Lord has helped us. So the Philistines were subdued and didn't invade Israel again for some time. And throughout Samuel's lifetime, the Lord's powerful hand was raised against the Philistines. The Israelite villages near Ekron and Gath that the Philistines had captured were restored to Israel, along with the rest of the territory that the Philistines had taken. And there was peace between Israel and the Amorites in those days. Samuel continued as Israel's judge for the rest of his life. Each year he traveled around, setting up his court first at Bethel, then at Gilgal, and then at Mizpah. He judged the people of Israel at each of these places. Then he would return to his home at Ramah, and he would hear cases there too. And Samuel built an altar to the Lord at Ramah.
That's it. Now, I just have a lot of fatigue, and I try to fight it. Because if you let fatigue win, you'll lose. Oh, were the tornadoes? I'm about to go boil some eggs. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yeah, that's going to be it for today for the devotion. I have a vitamin. Maybe that's all you have to do is sit outside in the sun. They said for 10 minutes a day to get your vitamin D. So that's why this one mother always made her kids go outside for at least 15 minutes a day, then they can stay inside. Oh, you got to take the pills. Oh, okay. Yeah, they would know if I had something wrong with me because I already did my yearly physical, my blood drawn and everything. Did you hear about the trucks? What happened to the trucks in the UK? I take one pill a week. Oh, okay, yeah. My mom had to take it. It was in the winter. Uh-oh. Oh. Holy shit. I mean, holy cow. Wow. I remember hearing about a story, I think it happened a long time ago, that this one family reported their son missing. Like idiots, they reported him missing. But that boy was already on the list of being missing because that family kidnapped him like a couple years before. I'm like, this is of course. You're the one that stole him. Said, no, he's my son. But no. And they refused to take a DNA test. All right, guys, I'm going to go get some breakfast, and maybe that'll make me feel better. Who knows? Thank you. Yeah, I'll feel better by tomorrow, most likely. Thank you, Dizzy Izzy. Don't forget, love, don't judge. Peace out. Love you too.